At the beginning of the story, we are introduced to a future scenario where the American state suffers a dangerous chemical attack. Many lives are lost, and only two paths remain for the survivors: either join a gang that constantly fights to conquer territory or live a domestic life. On the other side, we see a boy named Mark, who is packing things into his car, possibly preparing for a journey with his wife, Nina, as his goal is to find Nina's parents. At the same time, his friend tries to stop him, warning him about the difficulties they will face along the way. He insists that the journey is extremely dangerous and advises Mark not to go. However, Mark ignores him, driven by his lingering love for Nina, even though he had considered divorcing her before the attack. As Mark and Nina set off, Nina hears warnings on the radio advising people to be cautious of snipers and to avoid individuals wearing dirty clothes, as such people are often shot on sight. Suddenly, their car breaks down, forcing them to stop at an abandoned garage. While Mark attempts to fix the vehicle, three strangers enter the garage, paying no attention to Mark and Nina. Slowly, Mark tries to slip back into his car unnoticed. Meanwhile, another car arrives on the opposite side, carrying three more people dressed like ghosts. These newcomers immediately open fire on the first group, killing them all. Terrified, Mark and Nina manage to start their car and escape just as members of a city gang notice them and begin shooting. Happily, Mark and Nina flee from danger. During their journey, they hear more updates on the radio about an intense conflict between the city gang and the Nailers gang. As the afternoon progresses, they decide to stay in an abandoned house. Inside, Mark and Nina discover the bodies of a couple on a bed, clearly tortured and killed. Nina attempts to contact her mother using an old radio. That night, Mark updates his map while keeping watch. Unbeknownst to them, a man lurks outside, observing their every move. In a separate scene, we see a group of people brutally beating a man, demanding Nina's address. Once he reveals it, they kill him. These men belong to the Nailers gang. Back at the house, Mark hears the sound of motorcycles approaching. He and Nina hide, using headphones to listen for any signs of danger. Members of the Nailers gang enter the house, searching for them. In a tense moment, Mark kills one of the gang members with a screwdriver and then eliminates their leader. They steal a car and escape, unaware that someone is watching them from afar. During their travels, they learn that a member of the Cherry Gang is fighting to protect women, killing anyone who stands in their way. At one point, they stop at a supermarket to gather supplies. As they enter, a masked man approaches them, causing the Nailers gang members to grow nervous. However, the man removes his mask, introduces himself as Negan, and explains that he has been observing them to determine if they are allies. Suddenly, more members of the Nailers gang arrive, prompting Mark, Nina, and Negan to hide. Nathan's son, Steven, shoots the intruders, allowing the trio to escape. Later, Nathan invites Mark and Nina to join his family for dinner. During the meal, everyone appears cheerful. Nathan's wife serves food, and after dinner, the couple dances. However, Nathan shocks Mark by revealing that the burgers they ate were made of human flesh. Horrified, Mark pleads with Nathan not to tell Nina. Determined to leave, Mark prepares to depart, but Nathan tries to stop him. Suddenly, a rival gang leader storms in, shooting Nathan's daughter. Chaos ensues as Steven retaliates, injuring the leader and killing him. Mark and Nina seize the opportunity to escape in Nathan's car. On the road, they encounter the Gamblers gang, who capture them after spinning a wheel to decide their fate. The wheel lands on a deadly outcome, and they fire, hitting Nina in the shoulder. Panicked, Mark turns the car back toward the city. Later, Nathan contacts the leader of the Prey Boys gang, offering information about Mark and Nina in exchange for help. However, when the gang leader arrives, he finds his entire crew dead. Betsy ambushes him, knocking him unconscious, and frees the women held captive there. Meanwhile, Nina wakes up in an unfamiliar place, bandaged and alone. She searches for Mark but finds a note saying he has gone to find food. Another message warns her that the building's main door is locked. Nina escapes through a window, retrieves a car, and packs her belongings. Overcome with guilt, she decides not to leave alone. Returning to the house, she finds another note instructing her to play music. When she opens a drawer, she discovers her favorite track alongside a heartfelt apology from Mark, urging her not to end their marriage. Realizing her mistake, Nina stays, plays the music, and drinks while dancing. From a window, Betsy watches Nina's actions. Later, Betsy sneaks into the house, retrieves a wedding ring, and kills a member of the Playboys gang. In another scene, Mark enters a house where he discovers Nathan and his son Steven tied up. A gang leader confronts Mark, ordering him to fight a powerful man named Bill. The leader threatens to kill Nathan and Steven if Mark refuses. A fierce battle ensues, during which the gang leader is shot. Mark saves Nathan and Steven, and they return home safely. Back at their house, Nina finds Mark unconscious, tends to him, and reflects on their relationship. Afterward, they grow closer, reminiscing about the past. However, they are soon captured by the gamblers' gang, who force them into a deadly game. Mark and Nina are seated at a table, one hand tied to a chair, the other painfully drilled with a gun. As the host begins a countdown, they are forced to shoot each other. Miraculously, neither dies. Nina frees herself, steals the host's gun, and kills him. With the gang distracted, Mark and Nina escape. In the chaos, Wanda, the leader of the gamblers, orders her gang to let them go temporarily. Mark and Nina narrowly evade capture, aided by Betsy, who kills a sniper targeting them. Eventually, they reunite and continue their journey. In a later scene, Mark visits Nina's parents' house, where neighbors inform Nina of her parents' deaths from illness. Heartbroken, Nina shares the news with Mark. A family friend named Bill arrives, but Betsy, suspicious of him, hides nearby. Nina notices Bill speaking on a walkie-talkie and follows him curiously. She discovers that Bill is part of the Kamler gang. Outside, Nina spots a young girl and quickly brings her inside for safety, arming Mark to protect her. The Kamler gang attacks, but Nina fights back fiercely, killing several members. Betsy joins the battle, using a machine gun to eliminate more enemies. As the fight intensifies, Nina runs out of bullets but is saved by Mark, who kills an attacker from the window. Fonda devises a plan, and the neighbors on the rooftop provide cover fire. Nina throws a smoke bomb, disorienting the attackers. Inside, a masked gang member confronts Mark, but Mark overpowers him, stabbing him fatally with the horn from his mask. Amidst the chaos, the Playboys gang arrives, seeking revenge against Betsy. A massive firefight erupts between the two gangs. Nina activates barbed wire, causing a truck to crash and explode. Her neighbors kill the last Kamler member, but Wanda arrives and murders the neighbor. Betsy intervenes, returning Nina's wedding ring, but Wanda fatally shoots her. Nina avenges Betsy by killing Wanda, effectively dismantling the Kamler gang. Finally, Nina visits Pill's house, only to find him already dead. she discovers a tattoo linking him to the Kamler gang and retrieves her father's favorite gun. Outside, she sees the same girl she believes may have caused Pill's death. Returning home, she gives the gun to Mark, who returns her wedding ring. Reconciled, Mark and Nina resume their journey to protect others and hunt down remaining Kamler members. This concludes the story. Thank you for watching.